Happy Saturday night, guys. It's Michael here. What compelled me to come on live this late? My day off, for the most part, night off. Well, I just wanted to make it apparent for you guys to really understand the type of lending that's available for you, a specific type, and we're going to get into the term, if this corgi here lets me. I'm watching my younger brother's dog while they're out for the weekend. I'm at his place. So, I recently had an individual that I was in talks with in a direct message on the TikTok app. And he was wanting to get funding. And keep in mind that I work with various different funding solutions, different types of programs that I can qualify you for. But this certain individual, and you'll understand why this makes sense, asked, okay, yeah, how does this work? And I said, well, I'll show you exactly how it works, but first let me ask you a few questions and then we'll get into it more heavily. I said, sounds great. So we moved on and I said, hey, how much funding are you looking to get? They were saying in like 100,000. And this corgi lets me. He doesn't like it when my brother's got to train him better, but he doesn't like it when people are on a call. If you should see it when I get on the phone like this. If I just go hi, he'll start to bark. If you guys know corgis, have a solution for that, please let me know. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, comment section. 100,000, and they were doing great in revenue. And then they go, wait, this isn't one of those daily payments, is it? Now I go, yes, it is. You get daily, sometimes weekly micro payments. We will never give you something that you cannot pay back. We always give you something that you can handle. Now, it's not like that everywhere. There are different programs. Couldn't even get an answer out of the guy. A little arrogant, but I was thinking he may want monthly, and he was looking for a different type of loan. He said, no, I'm okay. If that's the case, I don't want to do that. So naturally, what do? Doesn't matter if you're not in this profession. What you would want to say is, may I ask, and that's what I said, word for word, may I ask why? Left it at that. And they're like, no, bro, thank you for... They gave me that no bro thing. And that's when I hear that no bro thing, it's like, I know, I kind of know more or less your mentality, and I kind of know where you're coming from. But that was the case, and I offered solutions. I said, hey, well, if that's the case, we have other programs. I have other ones that I can help you with. And I asked them, what are you looking for? More of a traditional merchant cash advance, a business loan term, short, middle, long, an SBA? And what happened? The person blocked me. I didn't get down on myself. I kind of laughed at it, to be honest with you. And I unfriended them too. But who knows? They might want to friend me back later on when they don't go and find a solution. Because the specific program that I'm talking about, and I won't say the name, and if you want to learn more about which one this is, I'll leave it in the comments here, since you guys are watching from Instagram. And welcome in, guys. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, then it'll be there. Or in a different place. But daily micro payments shouldn't repel you. And here is why. Just pause because my battery percentage is at 10%. The reason being, it's fixed daily, sometimes weekly, micro. We never give you something that you can't handle. And if you're offended or if you are upset about any of that, it tells me two things, more or less. One, you don't have enough of an organized, stable enough business. It tells me that you're having deposits either going into a different banking account. You don't have one. You have a personal. It's going offshore somewhere else. And then two, it tells me you're not ready to be in that kind of like growth / expansion phase. Many people are like okay with it. They go, yeah, And the reason that happens is because many of them are ready for growth and expansion. You could be building, you could be getting out of a tight pinch, but the reason it's better and I prefer it, for one, we give you something that you'll be able to handle. And you know it won't change like other places you go and you get other types of loans where it's going to change from, it could change day to day. And it could change from month to month what accumulates. Where you thought you'd have a $3,000 payment at the end of the month, guess what happens? Now you have a double that amount. You have $6,000. Oh no, I can't do that. Now you're in conflict. Now you're in the situation where you thought, oh, I should have just gone with this guy Michael who was telling me about this one program. And I get that a lot. And by no means is it always their fault, but I do my best to help, and sometimes they reject it. I'm okay with it. I just tell them, you'll know where I'll be if you need to find me. And so daily, we give you something that you will be able to handle. They don't change. They're micropayments. It's far better because you don't go into a default. And the problem with that is you will never be able to get alternative lending ever again. I deal with my team of underwriters, my lenders. I spoke to one of the head owners of a certain company, and he says, yeah, I hate to see it, but it happens all the time. You see it with all types of people with different types of revenue. You see, I recently had a client who wanted $100,000, and he was going to continue to do more and more. Come to find out, he didn't get qualified because he had a MCA default. Doesn't matter if it was a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. That goes on your record, and then you can never get funding ever again. Now, let me move this over here so I can at least charge the phone. I'm just enjoying my Saturday night here. Welcome in, guys, if you guys are tuning in. I know not everybody will be able to attend, but I just wanted to make this message very clear. Look behind me, his name is Chip. I got a dog of my own. He's a toy poodle mixed with a peekaboo. But just be aware that daily micropayments shouldn't scare you off. If it does, that you don't have this, it's just this day in and day out. It's unpredictable. You don't have the right deposits. You don't have even a business checking account to begin with. Online banking isn't properly set up. And that, I didn't even get to ask them that reason. If that was the case, but I'm pretty sure they would have told me something like that. Or they would have lied to me, because most people do. Most business owners will tell you, or me, oh yeah, I got bank statements, I got this and that. And like just previously, I had a business owner who's doing well in income. And this, I guess, I see this more often with people who have a higher amount of income, is that the deposits are not going into your banking account. They're going into your personal, or you are being a little stingy and you're putting them somewhere else. And I'm sure that's the case with this individual. I won't say names, that's not what I do, but just the behavior of it was off. And so I wasn't pressing. I was actually trying to offer a solution to something that he didn't want. In fact, I waited before I responded back sometime. I'm like, okay, it's my Saturday night. I'm not going to respond back right away. I'm just going to see what he has to say. And so daily micropayments, very quickly. We will never give you something that you can't handle. They're micro. They're not. We're not talking a macro here. We're not saying we're going to give you $1,000 a day payment. You're looking at something like, I can't give you the exact amount unless you look at the terms. But what I would say is, since for a specific program, and this can depend on different types, but for total payback, let's say you get $15,000 and you're looking to pay back on approximately, it wouldn't be $4,000, it could be more or less. But we're going to tackle on an extra $4,000, $19,000. And then we look at the amount of daily payments you get throughout your term. So if it was a 4 to 6 month term, we say 92 payments, 15,000 divided by 92. I don't have my calculator I could open right now. But that's kind of more or less what you would be looking at. So we're looking at like 100, 200, 300, more or less. But again, it depends on your terms. And if that's something that bothers you, then you're not getting enough of an education around why that's a very important thing to have. And two, it's just, again, goes back to those other two principles and reasons that you don't have enough of a stable business, not enough deposits are coming in per month. You're not putting them in the business checking account. You're not putting them into the right account. You don't have one opened. You're being stingy. You're trying to hide something. And that's what happened previously, because this one owner had different business accounts, and he had asked me, like, do you want to see these bank statements? And I'm like, the bank statements to your business account. When I heard about it, I thought, okay, well, yeah, it was because they had an MCA default in the past, and he knew, like, you can't get funding ever again. We can't even take you to our tier B or tier C lenders at most cases. We try to offer you a different solution, but once that happens, what's going to happen if you're trying to get funding for growth and expansion, to build, get out of a tight pinch, payroll, marketing purposes, but you can't get it? Why? Because you have these huge monthly payments that aren't fixed. Especially with the merchant cash advance, that happens a lot. Those higher interest rates, and especially with all of this, we're already giving you a huge advantage to getting less than 50% expensive. So you're looking at everything else being 50, 60, 70 plus more expensive than we're already giving you, and you're getting feisty about a daily micropayment. And I get it. Not everybody's in the position to get there, and I had that brought up to me time and time again, but that's the exclusion. And I get why you bring that up. Not everybody can. I get it. So what does that mean? Start being more consistent in your revenue. Start profiting more. Start having a long-term growth. Even if you're not there, where's your vision? What's your projection from day to day, week to week, month to month? And then that'll take you to where you want to get to. So something as measly as a $230 payment per day is going to seem like nothing. But to this individual who is doing well monthly, we're talking about like 40 to 70K. And I'm like, why would that even be an issue? I'm looking for something better. Well, if you want to go look for something that has extremely higher interest rates, we don't even do interest rates on a specific program, unfixed payments that can be scattered. You don't know what you're getting at the end of the month, and because you're having to pay back through your credit card receivables and other issues that arise, add-ons, fees that you're not even told about in many cases. So that's what I want you guys to think about when you're going to be getting funding. Again, guys, I'm just taking time out of my Saturday night because I hear it all the time. It's not like I'm trying to say, you better get a daily payment. What I'm telling you is, start thinking that way. Organize your business better. Be in more profits. Be more stable. Be truthful, specifically where your money is flowing in. What accounts? Are there any? Not your personal. Are there enough deposits coming in? And that, without knowing it, because I didn't get a chance to ask, because they stopped following me. When they stop following me, I can't respond. And that's the thing. When you're looking for monthly payments, it shows that there are not enough deposits coming in already monthly, and that it's not enough of a growth or in a profit phase. But I have many people alternatively in the opposite way who say, yeah, daily payments, I explain it to them like I just did to you. And I don't want to see you go into a default at the end of the month, never get funded ever again, have a huger payment. On top of that, you have these higher interest rates that can be scattered. Ouch. But I'm just here to educate you guys on what it means to have a daily payment, sometimes weekly. Payment history earns you more. Add-on funds are available. The best early pay discounts and rewards there are. Again, if you want to learn more about any of that, the program and the services, in the description down below. If it's not here, I'm on Instagram at the moment, at the YouTube channel, underneath in the description. Make sure you check that out. But if we're speaking, if I'm in a chat with you, like just DMing you or something like that, please be mindful of what I just said, and don't say, okay, oh, daily. Why do you want a huge chunk at the end of the month? Be honest with yourself. Why is that? And do you want to pay double, triple, quadruple the amount of what you could be getting? Right? Maybe you get a $230 per week or $230 daily payment. What are we looking at? 3,000 to 4,000 plus per month, which is just about the same as what you would get anywhere else if you were asking for a monthly payment. Actually less, because it's 50% less expensive. So what you're looking at in other places are, you're going to be getting into the 5, the 6, the 7, even in the 8,000 plus. So I know these things because I deal with them on a daily basis as a business loan broker. And I constantly have MCA default. Michael, you couldn't get fundings because this person had an MCA default. They weren't being truthful with you even when you asked them, because most people won't. Because why? Because that'll stop you from getting funding. That'll stop you from going through the process and seeing what can actually happen. Because even if it did, you will want to see what's an alternative solution, right? I would. So just be truthful. Daily payments, don't let them scare you off. They're there for a reason. We're never going to give you something you can't handle, and they are in your best interest, so you can continue to have a more stable and more profitable business moving forward from month to month. And I get with things like coronavirus and people having to shut down I hear about it all the time. Michael, I couldn't work this month. Oh, I have had a business for a year that's been just stagnant and sitting here, but I'm ready to run it up if I could just get a new truck. Yeah, but do you have the right type of income for it? We're not the SBA. We're not going to just give you whatever you want or a grant. And those don't always work the same way. But that's everything from me in this video. You guys have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys during the week. And if you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment. I'd like to hear about what you think about daily micropayments, sometimes weekly, as opposed to monthly, and similarities and maybe something you want differences in what you would like to know more about. But the rest of the information for you guys is down below in the description. Thank you guys. See you guys later.